I hope that you are doing well. I don't know what happened to the video. The music just kept going, and I was just kind of listening to it in the background. So I hope that you are doing well. And I know that you are going to be inspired by this show because I know I was when I read our guest book. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, Kimberly. How are you? Good to see you again, my dear. Good to see you again. It is good to see you. So, welcome to Michelle's Inspiration Hour. And if you are hopping on just now, say hello, just like what Kimberly did. If you're watching it afterwards, just record it. Please say hello because I would love to hear from you. So, during this show, what I want you to think about is where do you go when you need some quiet time, when you need to actually get with the divine and have some spiritual time? I will let you know, my husband and okay, well, first I've got to begin with the very beginning of the story. So I've always wanted to go to Maine. I don't know why. I just feel like my spirit was calling me to Maine. And I kept telling him, I mean, after 34 years, he finally said, we're going to Maine. so, so we actually hopped on the plane. I had a mediumship conference in New York, and he said, let's go ahead and go to Maine. So we went to Maine, and it was absolutely beautiful. And I found, my spirituality while I was there. I was able to really connect with the energy, and absolutely beautiful. So again, think about where, and of course, you don't have to go to Maine or get on an airplane to find your spiritual place. It can be in your bedroom. It can be at the park. It can be at the lake. It can be at the pond. Wherever you need to go for quietness and to tap into that spirituality and just, and just feel that energy and find yourself. Sometimes we need to do that. And sometimes, I need to do it more than once a day. It depends upon your life. So, okay. So this guest that I'm going to explain to you, she actually went on a pilgrimage. And when I was looking at how many miles that she actually walked, I thought, what an inspiration. And she went there for spirituality, for forgiveness. But let me go ahead and read you her bio, and I think you will be inspired by it. Okay. So our guest name, Kathleen Donnelly Israel, was born in San Diego, California, where she has lived her whole life. Ron and Kathleen Israel raised their 5 children, and husband and wife were on a team couple for worldwide marriage encounter in the 70s and 80s. She has a bachelor degree in art from San Diego State University. She studied expressive art therapy, which I absolutely love. If you know me, I love art, and European graduate school in Switzerland. She is certified transformational breathing facilitator, Theta Healer, and has enjoyed a lifetime of walking, hiking, and running. Kathleen cared for her husband for 17 years, and he had Parkinson's disease until he died in 2018. During this time, she studied spiritual healing from many enlightened through thought leaders and teachers. She has written a wonderful book, Wisdom on the Camino, a spiritual journey sharing forgiveness and possibilities to inspire the rest of your life. So I am so excited to hear about her inspiration and everything that she learned while walking on this pilgrimage. Let's go ahead and welcome her. Hello, hello.
Hi, Michelle. I'm so happy to be here.
I am excited and thrilled that you are here again. Whenever I was reading your book, I was going, "Oh, what an inspiration!" I can't even walk a mile or two. And how many miles did you walk on the Camino?
487, something like that. I don't know.
I know you stopped at 400 miles. When you said 400 miles, it's like, okay. I mean, it's just, and like I was telling everybody else, you don't really need to do this, but what inspired you? What got you going to say, you know what, I need to make this trip as a pilgrim to walk the Camino Santiago?
So while I was caring for my husband, we had dreams. I had dreams of what we would do in our old age. I mean, I thought we'd be riding our bicycles across France or something, and, fun like that. And when he got sick, all that went away. That wasn't going to happen. And so I had to find another dream. And right around 2013, my friend Judy walked the Camino, and she shared it on Facebook. And I saw that even though she got blisters and walked with bloody feet, she was doing something very special for herself, pilgrimage. And so I thought, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. And, when Ron's done with his disease, because I was totally involved in Ron's care. So after he died, I had so much to do with the funeral, the bank, the insurance, all that stuff. And I was done in January, and I thought, well, I might as well get prepared to do this Camino. So I started, getting my stuff together, buying stuff, studying online, what I needed to do.
Yeah, you mentioned that you had to look through different backpacks, and I'm going, how do you decide what you're going to take in your backpack? You know that you're going to be carrying everything in that backpack of yours. So
Right.
before you went, were you going, did you have like an expectation of what you were going to learn and what spiritual inspiration you were going to learn?
Well, I just knew that I needed my whole house was full of Ron's stuff, right? And he didn't need it anymore. And it made me feel bad to get rid of it, but it made me feel bad to keep it too. So I kind of needed to get away for a while. And so that was a gift to me that I got to go. And also, I heard that you develop camaraderie with the other pilgrims on the Camino. And so I was pretty excited about that, meeting other people and, sharing my philosophies and getting, their philosophies.
And I think that is wonderful. And, a lot of people would, have difficulties sleeping together in a big room. And it was very interesting in your book that you're saying that you wanted the bottom bunk. And I mean, I could just see you running to finding the bottom bunk and getting there first and, calling it your place. But there
Mhm.
again, I think you're right. I think that we all learn from each other because,
Right.
I mean, how awesome is that coming from, worldwide coming into this place. Now
Mhm.
people that are unfamiliar about what the Camino Santiago is, can you explain the history behind it and why would someone want to do this?
Well, like way back, maybe the year 30 something, right?
Mhm.
The apostle of Jesus went to the Iberian Peninsula to share the word about Jesus. And he didn't get very many followers. And so he went back to Jerusalem and they martyred him there. And then there's a story where some people, helped by angels, brought his body back to Spain and buried it there.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then about the 1200s, they were trying to get the Moors out of Spain, and St. James appeared and helped them win the war. And they found St. James's grave, and everybody was like, wow, we love St. James. And so they started having pilgrimages to his grave. And his grave is actually inside the cathedral at Santiago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
so you can go
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, and that's one thing, I thought was wonderful. I know that you are Roman Catholic, and
Mhm.
that during your pilgrimage, you found all the churches so that you could go to mass during that time. And I
Right.
thought, that's a great inspiration to continue that. And even though, you're hurting and your feet are hurting, that's just a wonderful thing to do.
Well, I mean, as a Catholic, I go to mass every Sunday, and I was, I, I thought, I would get in, and I would be so tired, I would fall asleep on Sunday, and then I wouldn't find out when mass was until it was all over with, And I was just like, oh man, here I am on a holy pilgrimage, and I'm not even going to mass on Sunday. So that's when I started spending 2 days. I get in on Saturday, and I had to get a hotel because the albergues, you can only stay one night. And so I stayed 2 nights in a hotel, and then I just woke up in the morning on Sunday and went to mass.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
That is fantastic. And I know that you talked about, well, I was wearing my jeans and my outfit and my boots, but they still let me in. And I'm going that, which is awesome. Now, talking about religion, okay? You stated in your book, you said God is bigger than religion.
mm,
Okay? Can you
yeah.
kind of explain what that means to you?
I believe there is one God, and we all believe in God, and it's the same God. That's what I believe. And so God is bigger than religion. We all have our religion that maybe we went to because our parents were that religion, or else maybe we rebelled against our parents and found another religion, or whatever it is. Um, Still one God. God is bigger than religion. Yeah.
Now, did you meet anybody that during the pilgrimage, during the walk, that were kind of having a battle, spiritual battle?
Mm.
And were you able to talk to them to walk through it, or what? Tell me what happened.
Yeah, I met I was at a monastery. This one place, this one albergue was a monastery, and they provided the dinner. And so, you got your tray like cafeteria style, and I was just got my food, and I was looking around, where should I sit? And so I sat over on the side, and there at a table with other people, and there was a young man from England, and he. Um, I asked him, why did you come on the Camino? And he said, I have some time before I start my next job. And he was in the military, actually, in England.
Mhm.
And so he said, why did you come on the Camino? And I said, well, I took care of my husband for X amount of years. We were married 48 years, and he died, and so I'm going on the Camino as a spiritual journey for myself. And he thought that was very impressive.
Mhm.
And the lady next to him sort of edged him with her elbow and said, tell her the rest. And he said that he had married this woman, and they had a child, and then he decided that he got married too young, and he didn't want to be married anymore, and he was on the Camino to sort that out. And so I guess me telling him, my long suffering, maybe, or my dedication, my commitment to my husband, I think that just kind of slapped him in the face. And he was kind of looking to the side, sort of like, and
Right.
and so I told him, I said, if your wife finds somebody else to marry, that man is not going to love your child as much as you do. And he said, that's right. And I told him about the Ho'oponopono. Have you heard of Ho'oponopono?
I have, but go ahead and explain it to the listeners who have not. I think it's
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah, so it's a Hawaiian healing technique for the family. And you can do it with another person, or you can do it all by yourself. You don't need the other person, because what it does is it looses our binds to other people. We're bound to other people, and they are bound to push our buttons and make us sad, you
Mhm.
know.
Right.
And so we can loose those binds, so we're not attached to them in that way anymore. Maybe our relationship can change, or maybe, we just need another relationship. But anyway, I told him about it, and it's you start out, I love you, and it's I love God, God loves me, God loves the other person loves God, and I love the other person, and they love me, if you can say it. I love you. I'm sorry. And it's not, I'm sorry I did something, but I'm sorry the situation exists between us.
Mm-hmm.
And please forgive me for what's going on in me that caused me to attract this. I have a brokenness in me that caused me to attract this adversity with this other person. So, and then thank you for showing me this so I could heal. So if I didn't find this pain in my heart, I couldn't heal it. So thank you for showing me this. And then the big I love you again. I love God. God loves me. God loves the other person. The other person loves God. Yada, yada, yada. And so this is like, you can use it for a soaking prayer. It you just say it over and over again, and it just kind of soaks you. I know for me, I had a lot of adversity in my childhood, and which made me a sad person. So all my life I was attracting sad stuff because I was sad, and what you give out you take in. So
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really aware that that was the problem, but I must tell you that that was the problem, that I was sending out bad vibrations and bringing in really crummy experiences all my life. And so when I heard about the Ho'oponopono and I could just release that,
Oh,
oh my
wow.
gosh, it just
Yeah.
changed my life. And so he was pretty excited about it, and he wanted me to write it down. And so I wrote it down for him. And then the lady next to him took a picture of it so she could have it too.
Yeah, absolutely. How beautiful. Oh my
And
gosh, and being in that guy's life at that particular time, that is perfect.
I know it was like the angel just sped me over there.
Yes.
I was completely open. And and the next morning, I saw him, and I was going to tell him a little bit more about the Ho'oponopono, and he goes, "No, just stop. You've already changed my life. That's enough."
Wow. One step at a time, I guess, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
It's
He's going, wait, you've already told me this. And yeah, because it is,
a lot.
very emotional when you let go of things like that
It's a
and
lot.
you learn how to forgive.
Hmm.
So I can see him saying, "Wait a minute, wait a minute." Now, what I love, let me show everybody the book that we keep talking about. Okay, so this is her book, Wisdom on the Camino, and you can find it at Amazon or I'm sure any bookstore that you go to. But I did want to show you this picture again. It was in the video, but I want to show you, and I just love this picture. I
Hmm.
would be probably kissing the ground, saying, "I made it this far." But and I know in your book you talk about that there are certain traditions that you do afterwards,
Hmm.
and I thought, that is awesome. That way you can really, feel like not only can you get a certificate of doing all the miles on the pilgrimage, but emotionally, it's like, especially if you're by yourself, you need to go through those traditions. So, can you kind of explain to the listeners what traditions you went through?
Well, after I got there and I had that lady take my picture in front of the cathedral, then I had to go find the office where you get your Compostela. They call it your Compostela, which is a certificate saying you walked the whole way. And well, you can even get the certificate if you only walk 100K. You
Oh,
could
okay.
start in Saria and still get the certificate. But anyway, uh, I just wanted to walk the whole way.
Yes.
I think Americans, we go over there. It costs a lot of money to get there, and I just felt like I not go for a week or something.
Right. Right. Right.
Anyway,
Yep.
I forget your question. What did you
Oh
ask?
no, it's okay. Well, and I'll because
Oh,
of
what
the
did I
tradition.
do? What did I do afterwards?
Yes,
Okay, so I
afterwards.
got my Compostela. You have to wait in line for like an hour and a half, and
Mm.
and it was lovely because I was standing behind this man and his daughter, and they were from Denmark or something, and we were just talking the whole time. It was great. Politics, really. and
Right.
then and then there's a at the cathedral there is a mass, and the year I went, the cathedral was shut down because it was right before I think, the anniversary. And so they were fixing the church, and I had to go to a different church for the pilgrim mass. But last year, when I walked from Lisbon to Santiago, I did go into the cathedral.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And yeah, I walked. I went in to the cathedral right after I got my Compostela. I went in there, and you can touch the statue of Saint James. It's this bronze statue, and it's like worn away because people touch it
Right.
and hug it. I hugged it, and then I went down below, and there was his grave, and I threw a rose on his grave. So that was pretty special.
Oh, that's awesome. That is
Yeah.
totally awesome. Well, what is your inspiration? What can you tell people that we haven't talked about that you have learned and you really want to share with others?
One thing that I shared with a woman in Burgos is it's a very special prayer, and when you say this prayer, you get miracles. And the
Mm.
prayer is, "Dear God, please make everything turn out okay." And then you wait for God to make everything turn out okay. It's amazing. God really likes it when we acknowledge that God can do anything.
Oh,
And I
absolutely.
say it when I can't, there's no way there, I can't do anything else. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, dear God, please make everything turn out okay. And, and then cause when you're worried, when you're kind of upset, you need to keep praying. So then I just say, thank you, God, for helping everything turn out okay.
And you know what? It teaches us patience too. I mean, it's like sometimes it's like, okay, God, I've done everything. Why isn't it not working? But then you feel the love and the patience and everything when things do work out, like what you said, and you feel that gratitude.
Mm,
And I think it's all in the learning that God's trying to teach us. Hey, I'm not going
right,
to tell you immediately. You've got to get some, point A done first, and then I'll come in.
right.
But that is absolutely beautiful. Okay, now this is something that we did not talk about before we came on, but towards the end, the last question of the podcast, a lot of my listeners love metaphysical things, right?
Mhm, mhm.
So I have a wheel. All right. And everybody goes, what is the will? So let me show you. And the will decides the last question. Okay. Just see, I was
Okay.
a former teacher, and I think this just kind of adds the
How fun is that?
so the funness to it. So I'm gonna go and it's gonna be very small to us, but whenever it decides the question, it will pop up. Okay. So
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and spin it and see what the last question is like. Oh, am I going to win $1 million? All right, let's see.
Oh, green.
Love visits. Okay. So what this question is have you ever had a visit from a loved one, either in a dream or, by a symbol? Have you ever had a visit from a loved one who has crossed over?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I guess I wanna I mean, I have one, my brother, for gosh sakes. But my husband too, like when I used to go to school in Switzerland, I would gather heart-shaped rocks and bring them home to my husband to let him know I was thinking about him.
Mhm.
And and so while I was on the Camino, I kept seeing heart-shaped rocks. And I'm like, Ron is here, you know? I mean, it was uncanny. Like every 10th step, there was a heart-shaped rock, and
Mhm.
it was amazing. But my brother, oh my gosh, when he crossed over, I was really, irritated with him because he didn't care for himself. And he,
Right.
basically, anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
And I went to a spiritualist church, and he kept bothering the lady who was doing the readings by telling her stuff to tell me.
Uh-huh.
And actually, so one of the things he told her to tell me was potato chip. And that morning I was when I had just found out he died. And that morning I was out to breakfast with my friends, and I said, boy, these potatoes look like potato chips. And so I'm like, okay, Chris, I understand. And then he
Right.
told her to tell me Comet Cleanser. And I'm like, okay, you know, when we were children, my mother made him make sandwiches. You know, we had to make the sandwiches. And when I got to school, there was Comet Cleanser in my sandwich. And I
Wow.
know, because
Yeah.
he didn't want to make the sandwiches anymore. So he thought if he did that, my mother wouldn't make him make sandwiches anymore. She wouldn't trust him anymore. So, you know,
He sounds
I
like
mean,
a real character.
he was, boy, I tell you, I used to wait up at night when he would come, you know, when he was a teenager, he was just right ahead of me. And I
Yeah.
would wait up just to hear the stories he would tell my mother about why he was late, because they were fantastic.
Isn't that wonderful? And a lot of people, our listeners, don't know what a spiritualist church is.
Mm,
Whenever after you receive a message in church, then you have a medium that brings over spirit, just like a platform reading. And
mm.
so that's all done within the spiritual church. And I think it's wonderful because it brings up such memories and everything and healing that goes on. And sometimes you'll get that energy healing as well from whoever is there to do the
Yeah,
healing.
they do that
Yeah.
first. You go upstairs and they do hands-on healing
Which
upstairs.
is, and see, I actually attended one at Lilydale
Mm,
this last Sunday, and I have never been to a service before in a spiritualist church. And
mm,
it was wonderful. And of course it was 9/11.
oh,
And so, the message was about 9/11, and Lisa Williams actually did the service. And I mean, I was like, I should have brought a Kleenex because I was really
mm,
teary-eyed and it was
mhm.
beautiful. And then
Yeah.
I was able to get healed by someone doing the energy work. And
Mm,
then Lisa did the mediumship. And so I've never been to one before. And it's a great experience if you have not experienced a spiritualist church. And a lot of the things that we sang, I sang this in church growing up. So,
right.
it wasn't much different than regular church.
Mhm.
Okay, so thank you so much for being on the program. And what we're going to do, this is the second part of the show. And what I do is I get some music going for the psychic readings. And so we'll disappear from the screen so that we can get the energy going with the music. And then I get to do you first to do some psychic
Oh,
reading. So I'm
thank
excited about
you.
that.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so let me go ahead and start the music. Let's see. Okay. Okay. See, that kind of gets the second part of the show. And all right, I'm going to go ahead and do you first, and I'll say hello to the people in just a few minutes because I'm trying to get my energy there. Because it's really interesting. I have to get, and you probably already know this, Kathleen, is when you do psychic readings, you have to get your energy going and everything. But doing the interview, it kind of grounds me, so I've got to come back
Mhm.
up after that. But I have 3 decks here, and the one that I was really being pulled for you was the Cosmic Dancer, and which
Mm.
is a movement card. It's a beautiful card, and I just felt like this is more in your personality, which
I love to dance.
yeah, you. And it's an interesting deck because it also talks about different dance moves that you can do for each card. Now I won't go into
Mm,
all that. Because it really explains it, and I'm glad. Oh, that's beautiful. So you were a
mm.
dancer growing up?
Oh, I just love to dance. You know,
Okay.
I when I was a teenager, I loved to dance, and I still do.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pull, and that was perfect. Three, and oh my goodness, I can feel your energy now. A lot of people are shocked that you can actually feel different energy over the internet. And I said, well, energy is energy. So I'm
Mm,
going to go ahead and do. something that you have been working on in the past. I haven't looked at the cards yet. The middle card will be something presently that you're, think about, or spirit is telling you you need to really think about it. And then the last card is something that you need to make it into habit. So it's a little bit different than the
Mm.
past, present, and future. And so I love it for a really short card read. Oh, I love this. Okay. So this is something, and I'm really feeling that this is something that you really worked on. Oh, okay. Especially when you were younger. Okay. And it's because of, being spiritual and religious at the same time, that you've really had to honor the process. Okay. Something that you've really worked on, and you've actually become a butterfly, which means you come into your spiritual own. And
Mm.
especially when you were younger, it's interesting
Mm.
because I'm feeling that you were kind of going, yes, I love, being Catholic, but at the same time, there's more to it out there. It's almost, I don't want to call you a rebel, but you said, I'm going to think on my own. Now, presently, it's flow with the divine timing. Okay. So this is something that you're really working on. Not, and it's very interesting that you brought up that, the prayer, that you're letting God take the will. In other words, take the
Mm.
Jesus, take the will. That's kind of the song that I'm thinking of. So, you've had to let go of being in control, because you like being in control. And like you said, that prayer, how many times a day do you say that prayer? Like 5, 10 times? I'm just kidding. Okay. So what you
They
need to
say
really
Ho'oponopono a lot.
Oh, do
So,
you? Yes, 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 yes. And okay, so what you need to do to make it an habit is celebrate your growth and breakthroughs. Okay, so not only reflect on where you have been, but I love that you, like, after the Camino, you got your hair cut. Okay, that was a celebration. So definitely
right.
celebrate with
Forgot about that.
everything that you had. And I'm really feeling that not only celebrate in your heart, but share it with others. Share it with your
Mm.
family, whatever you have done, because that will, I think, you'll just inspire them that much more. And I think
Mm.
they will surprise you in the way that they really take whatever you've done in the past. But definitely share what you have accomplished.
Okay, I
I'm
got it
going to leave
down.
you with that.
Thank you. Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And thank you, Kathleen, so much for being on the show. Again, you are such an inspiration. And when I was reading your book again, I would have taken the bus. But I know that you're there for spirituality, and that you really help people along the way, and you will continue to help people along the way with your message. So thank you
Thank you,
so
dear.
much. I'm going to go ahead and release you from from the
Thank
show.
you.
And again, thank you so much for sharing your book and your messages.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you, my dear. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. For the rest of the people, let me know if you are still here. I've already said hello to Kimberly. Let me go ahead and see. Nita, hello, hello. And Tina, hello, hello. So let me know if you are still here and if you want a message. Okay. And again, I have 3 different decks. And what I will probably, with the guest, I usually do 3 cards. But what I will probably do is just do oh my goodness, inspirational message for you. Okay. As more and more people pop on. And here is, oh my gosh, I have to say hello. Hello, June. How are you doing? I know we still have not gotten together. I was actually thinking about you the other day. So maybe when I was thinking about you, because I saw you on Facebook, maybe, your energy is still here. Okay. All right. So, good deal. Good deal. So I'll go ahead and do Tina first. And then June, I will do you after that. Okay. To get you an inspirational message. Okay. And Anita. Okay. So let me go ahead and Tina, June, Anita. Okay. Yeah, Jean, I don't know if you were wanting a message, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you, okay? give you give you an inspiration. Okay. So Tina, let me go ahead and look and see what cards. And each week I really don't remember which cards I give you, but I am being pulled for more of the healing cards with the different kind of chakras on there. Okay. Um, and what I'm really feeling, and I'm feeling with you, is more grounding. Okay. Now, again, I don't remember. I know I've done a lot of readings for you, but I really can't remember, Tina. But this week, really think about grounding before I pull a card out. It just, I feel like you need to, take a breather. I should have asked our guest. She's in all the breathing and the healing and everything. And that's what I'm really feeling for you, Tina, this week. Take a deep breath. And even before you go anywhere, go inside, go to work, go, back into your home, take a very deep breath. And even say a mantra or prayer, and then that will help also ground you. Okay. All right. So let me see. All right. Oh my gosh, I got two cards. Okay. I got two cards for you. So guess what? They're meant for you. So the first card, my first card is negativity. Okay. And again, what I'm feeling for your message for this week is that breathing, whenever you're doing the breathing treatment, healing, that as you breathe out all that negativity out. Because again, you are an empath and you're feeling everything around you, right? So, and I love this because see the girl in the picture is actually she's going like this, and that's what I'm feeling for you for this week. Okay, so again, take care of yourself, get all that negativity, all that crap out of your energy. Okay, and this way you will be able to transform. Okay, and because that negativity, it plays around with your ego, and you get people and you feel how they're feeling. Again, the breathing, and for some reason, salt bath is coming to mind. So you may want to do that, and that will really help get all that negativity away. Um, Also, what I'm seeing from this card, because I really felt like I was not completely done with you, is transform to another way that you're going to help get that negativity. Really think about and reflect on your thoughts that are coming in, okay? Because that has a lot to do with your energy and your spirituality. So, whatever you're thinking, if it's something also negative, that's really going to bring your energy down. Okay. And again, that's where that grounding comes into. So, a lot of people may make you angry or you may tolerate a lot of people and it builds up. Just make sure you breathe all that negative energy out. Okay. So, I am going to leave you with that, Tina. Okay. God bless you. All right. All right, June. Sorry, I'm getting so. I think when I talk so much, I get really dry. All right. Okay, so Jean, with you, what I want you to do, real quick, my dear, is take a couple of deep breaths. Okay, because what this will do, it will open your heart chakra up so that I can actually read your energy. Okay, couple more deep breaths. It's getting there. Okay. All right. So I'm going to draw spirituality with you. And what I'm really feeling from you, June, um, is what I'm feeling with energy is you're kind of blocking me, and it's okay. I mean, a lot of people are like that too. I mean, you don't want to let another energy in, and it's okay because sometimes you don't want, and that's a good thing to really protect your energy and protect who you let in. And that's what I'm kind of feeling with the blockage. Okay. And so let me go ahead and see what inspiration that you need this week. Okay. All right. So what I have pulled for you, June, and I will pull it up just because I like to look at the words. But this is the seven deadly sins. And I'm going to see which one I am pulled at so that you can really work on this week and really think about it. Okay. So let me, I've got a little booklet here because I want to make sure I remember all the seven deadly sins. Okay. So let me see. Okay. So it was kind of between two, and so I was kind of seeing which way I am being really pulled. But then it really came across, okay? Now, one of the sins, and it's really, it's really hard for anybody to work on this because we always want, but the greed of it is the sin of greed is excessive pursuit of material possessions and power. So, and a lot of times, we want to what I'm really feeling is that we want to get ahead, okay? And you want that power. You think, you know what? If I have that power, things are going to go much better for me. And sometimes letting go of the power and really trusting the process will actually speed the process up even more. So just think about, okay, so what I really feel like, Jean, what will really help this week is find like an inspirational message or something that you can say over and over and over again, okay, to kind of help you get inspired. And this will kind of get you going in that direction. And I think there is something that's out there that that you already have that really, you say to help yourself feel good. And that's what you need to say each time you get up in the morning, okay? And really think about the things that you have, the gratitude, and just at one time an evening before you go to bed, think about, I am so thankful for. And then that way, that will actually release that control of the power and you'll really start to see things happening. Okay. So I hope this helps with you this week, June. And just again, it's just an inspirational message for this week. All right. So I hope that resonates with you. And yes, we will have to get together soon over coffee. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, Anita, good to see you. It's been a while. Okay. And if you notice that at psychic readings, whenever you're doing it online, it's like you have to let go of that energy so that I can find you, Anita. Okay. And I'm so sorry. What I usually do is I put up the name and I completely forgot, I got into the moment. Okay. So what I'm really feeling from your Anita, from your energy is like, you're letting things happen. That's really good. Really good. Okay. Okay. So again, I am looking at these cards and I love these colors. It just seems like, Spirit has a way of bringing people in that have very similar things that they need to work on this week to be inspired or whatever. So, what I'm really feeling from your chakra is immediately I went to the throat, okay, the throat chakra. And if you know anything about the throat chakra, it's almost like speaking your truth, okay? So that's one thing, the first thing that's really coming to mind is you really need to speak your truth this week, okay? But I am going to draw a card out. Okay. Okay, and I love this for you too because it kind of it almost goes with the show today. And again, like I said, Spirit has a way of bringing people together that have the same things that we're all looking at. So this is seeking seclusion, okay? And again, what I'm really feeling, and I love this. Okay, so what I'm really being drawn to is the guy on the horse. Okay. And why you need to seek seclusion out is because, again, you feel all the energy around you, and you just need to take time for yourself. And when you seek for seclusion, the horse is really showing me that it's almost like it will help you transform. Okay. It's almost because a horse kind of means a movement card. Okay. It will help move your energy, but and it's almost like I'm feeling that you need to seek seclusion at least once a week. And because you are such an empath, everything that you do is so emotional, and you just need to replenish that energy by seeking seclusion. Okay. It doesn't mean that you have to go into a dark closet or anything. Please don't do that. That just means taking time out, turning off all the electricity, no phone. I know that's very difficult to do. No watching TV, and just sitting in the moment, sitting presently. Because I think a lot of times you're busy thinking about what's going to happen in the future and being anxious, so definitely, have that time for yourself. Okay, so let's see what that's me right now. A few months ago, I found out I am a star seed. Yes, and I think you have told me that before, that you are star seed, and yes, you're going to feel all that energy. And star seeds do need to take a break because you are feeling everything, my dear. And again, okay, so I don't know if we've talked about crystals, but crystals came to mind, that will help you replenish you and protect you from the different energy. And I know that, where did I put it? Okay, so I have a necklace here. And so you may want to get a crystal that you put around right here and you wear constantly so that it can protect you from the different energies. Okay. I have a lot of intense feelings and thoughts about what a star seed is. So I think when I read that message, what you really need to do is seek your truth. Just like what we're talking about is I would find other star seeds. Okay. Yeah, I would find, and it's good to get off Facebook, absolutely. But you may need to find your group that you need to talk to, because I know when I was coming out as a psychic medium, what really helped me is finding people that are going through the exact same thing. So what you need to do is you need to find a group, a starseed group. And I know there are a couple of groups on Facebook, or you may, search engine on Google and see what you find, but definitely find other star seeds out there that are going through the same thing you are, and that will definitely help you get through. Because once you find why you're going through something and you talk to other people, it will really help you, my dear. Okay, so I hope this resonates with you, and love and light, and you have a fabulous week. Okay. So thank you so much for coming on today, and I hope that you enjoyed our inspirational guest. I know that she's inspired me. And the one thing that I talked about at the beginning of the podcast is whenever think about a place that you can go to for spirituality. Okay. You don't have to get on an airplane and go somewhere or a pilgrimage, but think of a place that you can go to where you can really think and be with the divine, be with your angels, and find what you are seeking for. And that's the only way that you're going to find it, because, yeah, TV, everything will be a distraction, and that's what will hurt us spiritually. So I hope that you do well this week, and I hope this inspired you, and I will see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you so much. Let me get my music going, and I'm having to find it. So, okay. So God bless.